Hey everybody, Jeff Kelly, Chief Instructor with Sheila Martial Arts Center in Corvallis, Oregon. Today in our Pekiti-Tirsia series, we're going to be working on the Pekiti-Disarma subsystem. And this is a system of disarms. Basically, we're going to be working 5 different zones against an angle number 1 attack. This is just a preparation to learn some of the angles, some of the principles. In this video, we're just going to do the number 1 and kind of give you an idea of what's going on, and then we'll do subsequent disarms from there. So all these disarms are going to be done against a number 1 strike coming here. Okay? For learning purposes, I'm just going to do a 4-wall defense. So what that does now is create a plus sign. So the 5 angles are going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 on the side here. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they can be done in any order, but that's easier to remember. Okay, today we're just going to concentrate on the number 1. All right, so the first thing, he's going to strike with a number 1. I'm going to enter inward with the 5 attacks. All right, and what I want to do here is at the same time, I want to tap. Okay, so I'm going to come on the number 1 angle here and tap. Okay, so the grip I've got here is some on the thumb, some on the back of his fingers, and then my little finger, the ring and little finger are here on the stick. Okay, this gives me leverage. Now in Pekiti-Tirsia, we make great pains to distinguish between stick and blade attacks. So generally we do not grab the blade up here. We're going to control the hand here so that I'm not on the blade, and if I'm touching the blade slightly here, usually the bottom of the blade is unsharpened. Xander, would you grab one of the blades, please? Okay, so we want to make sure that we distinguish that. Now with the blade, I'll show you that. Go ahead and put your stick down. Okay, so if I come here, right, I'm going to tap here. All right, I've got a little bit, but most of this is on the handguard here. Okay, generally, like I say, this is not sharp. Most of the blade is not sharp. This is your defensive part. This is known as the forte in Western fencing. This is the strong part of the blade. So this is where you want to try to parry or block. So here, I'm going to make contact just with this part here. Okay, the actual disarm, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to tap, control it here. Now I want to lever him downward here. Okay, so this throws him off balance. And then from here, I'm going to use my elbow, turning the body, make contact with the back of his hand, and then strip the blade here. Okay, let's turn around and do this way. Okay, so you can see a little better. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so against the number 1, I'm going to 4-wall and tap immediately. This gives me the control. Here I'm going to turn his arm downward. Okay, and then here I'm not going to really be able to release it with this hand. Okay, so I'm going to release it here by pushing with the elbow and stripping the stick backwards. Okay, so one more time at speed. Right here. Okay, again. So the other part is that first you've got to enter with the 4-wall, and I'm here. Now when I release, I don't want to overturn my body because that leaves me vulnerable to his punch. So here, I'm in control. I'm just going to turn with the hips enough to release it. Now if he punches or whatever, now I can deal with that. Plus I've got, if I don't go with his stick, I've got that as well. All right. The other thing that goes without saying is you're never going to get a clean disarm. He's not going to hand his hand to you. He's going to be moving and fighting. So you're not going to be able to just go here and disarm. So what you want to, of course, what we want to do is be striking here until I can get to my disarm here. Okay, that just goes without saying, and then of course, I'm going to disarm here and then follow up getting out of the way. Okay, all right, so one more time at speed. Flow wall here, turn the arm down, release, get out, and counter. Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay, so that's number one against the number one angle using four wall, and it's our number one disarm. Okay, I call it an elbow release. Right? So this gives you an idea of the four quadrants and one of the first releases. One other thing I want to mention is that the disarms are going to depend on where your stick is. So sometimes when you make contact, the stick goes behind you or to your number two side. Sometimes it's going to be here. Disarms have to be pretty much different. So with this one, because my stick is on this side, that limits the number of disarms I can do. So that's where I'm going to come here and do this. Again, it's only one example of many. It gives you an idea of the progress of the Pekiti-Tirsia system. Later on, of course, you're going to become as natural as possible. You'll just go off the energy he gave you. And in the future, we'll cover disarms from the number two side. All right, so that's the first part of our Pekiti-Tirsia system. I'm Jeff Kelly, Chief Instructor with the Sheila Martial Arts Center in Corvallis, Oregon. We thank you for joining us.